Welcome back to Boston Public Radio. Margery Eagan, Jim Braude. Cocktails to go has been one of the perks that has come with pandemic living. But what has been a lifeline for restaurants and us and the life of our pandemic pods could come to an end when coronavirus state of emergency expires on June 15th here. We're opening lines asking, should takeout cocktails become a permanent fixture? Restaurant owners, we want to know if this would be good for business. People can't figure out what a jigger of gin is. Do you want to-go cocktails to not go anywhere? And liquor store owners who oppose making this permanent, can't we all just get along? 877-301-8097. Now, we broached with the governor when he was with us at 12 o'clock. We tried to get him to say which of the executive order things during the pandemic, like some moves on telehealth and evictions and things. He focused on evictions quite a bit. He would not commit on the takeout beverages, even though when I mentioned takeout cocktails, I believe he laughed in the background, which suggests to me that he is a to-go cocktail kind of guy, as you are. And I am to a lesser degree, but I am as well. We want to know if you think this should continue, both because you like it and because, according to the Boston Globe, 10 to 15% of total sales during the pandemic for restaurants has been on these takeout cocktails. 877-301-8097. Obviously, you're in favor of it.
Absolutely, I'm in favor of it. I often wonder, what is wrong with Massachusetts?
What do you mean?
38 states do this.
Is that true? It's 38 states?
And are their liquor stores going out of business?
That's
I don't think so.
excellent point.
The liquor stores here, I don't think they have to worry about this. There's not going to be a huge, because it's expensive to get takeout cocktails,
Yes,
right?
is.
The restaurants make a lot of money off liquor. That's why they like to sell
Yes, they
liquor,
do.
and I get that completely. But I don't think there's going to be that they're in any danger of losing out at the package stores if people are going to the restaurants to get takeout liquor, and it's just kind of nice. It's
not kind of nice. It is great. The fact that you can open a jar or a bottle or something and just pour it in a glass and maybe add an ice cube, it's fabulous. It's really, why are you smiling?
No, because I think in truth, I have made a lot of I make a lot of cocktails, so I haven't gotten many takeout things, but I'm going to do it for June 15th, just in case it goes away.
Well, I've done it, and again, I don't drink nearly as much as you do.
That's right.
No, I don't.
I'm drinking constantly, Jim.
Well, yeah, I've gotten a whole spectrum. I usually order something I haven't had before.
What do you get?
Well, I get almost everything. From Manhattans to sours
Jim,
to...
How far do you get in the Manhattan? That's potent stuff.
I usually use, I use one of those eyedroppers. And I drop one or two in. Margery knows what Margery's saying. Is one of the few criticisms or ridiculing of me that is actually true. I don't drink very much, and it's not because I don't like it. I love it. As Margery knows, a third of a beer, and I need to be carried out on a stretcher. So I'm a cheap drunk, as they say.
You are a cheap drunk, but
is amazing considering I'm rather large.
You are rather large. Well, I think you build up a tolerance to liquor. But even someone like myself who has more cocktails than you do. A Manhattan is pretty potent, Jim. So I'm surprised you made it. I'm sure you didn't make it through the whole bottle in one sitting.
Wait, when I ordered from a restaurant?
Yeah.
I didn't make it through a tenth of a bottle in one sitting. So it's a lot cheaper for me.
Like
we're making a lot of them at home, too. As I've told you, I've had a cocktail, literally, I'm raising my right hand. Mm-hmm. The number of cocktails I had in my whole life, until March of last year when the pandemic started, pales next to the number of cocktails I've had in the 14 and a half months since.
Well,
13 and a half months since.
That's true nationwide, right? We've read a lot about how people are doing more drinking and they're doing more marijuana smoking. So is that because they don't have something to do or because they feel sorry for themselves? And
also it brings a little joy in your life where you might need a little, considering the world is a mess.
Well, that's true.
Drinking's a fun kind of thing. It's maybe not great for your health to drink 7 nights a week that you can't stand up. But other than that, and by the way, Senator DeZoglio is sponsoring the bill or something. And by the way, if people weren't listening when the governor called, the governor says they're looking at all the stuff that was implemented by executive order. Some of it may need to be done legislatively, those things which they want to continue. He didn't commit as to whether or not this is one of the things he wanted to commit, but if he to long term. But if he did, I think they'd need to do it in the legislature. The number is 877-301-8097.
May I ask you one question before we get to the calls?
You may ask me 3 questions.
So when you've gotten your takeout Manhattan, it comes in a glass bottle?
Sometimes in a jar, a glass bottle.
And there's no ice in it or anything. You add the ice
because the ice would melt and dilute it, obviously.
So you get enough for 1 drink, 2 drinks, 3 drinks?
For you, half a drink. For me, 10 drinks. No, it's usually, it depends on the restaurant, obviously. I think my experience has been, I'm trying to think, most of the containers that you get, people say it's expensive. They're usually 2 drinks in most of the ones I've gotten. Regardless of what it is, one, it helps the restaurants hugely because the profit margin, as you say, on liquor is much higher than on food. And secondly, it's fun. It's really fun. You're used to, for your whole life, ordering takeout. If you do, and you get food, and that's great. But to have a drink ready when it hits your house, when you get home, is terrific.
Well, lots of people like to have the drink before they have the dinner because then they can get the buzz on.
You don't have to eat the dinner the moment it's... What is wrong with you? You put the dinner on the counter and have the drink.
Okay. Christina from Rosendale, in the car in Rosendale. Christina, how are you? Thank you for calling.
I like to have the drink before my dinner.
I do.
And then I have my drink later. Well, so, go ahead, Christina. Sorry.
Hi, Jim and Marjorie.
Hey.
First time, long time.
Wow,
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love your show.
Thanks.
So I'm in favor of keeping the drink option at restaurants.
Ding, ding, ding.
There's a lot of drinks that I won't make at home that I can get from a restaurant. For example, when I order sushi, I'll get like a scorpion bowl or a Mai Tai.
Oh, nice.
Whereas like at home, I don't have all those ingredients.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, I've not made a scorpion bowl myself. I must admit that. That's true. That's true.
And with all the wine I drink, I'm not going to put any liquor stores out of business. So.
Well, that is true. One of the nice things you see now in restaurants, you go into a nice restaurant or even a medium-scale restaurant, Christina, and they have a list of cocktails. And there are always these very creative, unusual things that you've not heard of or you wouldn't think to make of a home. So that's a great point.
Christina, did you say what your favorite was so far? I missed. Did you say your favorite?
For drinks.
A takeout drink, yeah. What's the best one you've had?
Well, I think the Mai Tai, they give them in like a pint container or a half pint, which, like you're saying, it's like a drink and a half, 2 drinks.
Excellent.
When you add the ice. And also, I ordered out last summer. I went to the Beachcomber down in Wellfleet, and their margaritas to go were fabulous.
Boy, the Beachcomber is so great. If people have never been there in Wellfleet, it is spectacular. So, Christina, what do you think about the fact that your first call ever to the show was about takeout cocktails? What does that say?
I know. Well, I think it's appropriate for me.
Perfect. Exactly. See you at the Beachcomber, Christina. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it. You ever been there?
Yes, that's the place. It's right on it's like
down
on the
hill.
Cliff. Yeah, down the cliff.
Great.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, my kids have been there more than I have.
877-301-89. By the way, this is a serious thing. I mean, it's also fun. This is a lifeline kind of thing. It isn't like these restaurants all of a sudden, now they go to 100% capacity if they choose on May 29th, or all of a sudden everything's going to be fine. They're going to have a long time recovering from this year-plus nightmare. One of the things that would give them an even better lifeline is to allow them to continue to do takeout drinks,
we're hung
cocktails.
up on a lot of things in Massachusetts. As I said before, 38 states do this. What is wrong with us? They did it before the pandemic.
Happy hour? As much as we love Michael Dukakis, he is the reason we do not have happy hour. And I understand his concern about accidents, that sort of stuff. But then limit the number of drinks. Is happy hour one of the best things ever in the places that have it?
I think that because young people have been raised with these constant admonitions from their parents about drinking and driving, a lot of kids are taking Uber and Lyfts. They're just taking Uber and Lyfts. There weren't Uber and Lyfts. There were taxis when we were a kid, but you weren't generally going to take a taxi home. You see a lot more people driving responsibly.
Well, because Uber and Lyft is a lot easier, particularly for technologically adept people like you.
Raphael from Ipswich, thank you for calling.
Hi, Raphael.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Yes.
Thanks for calling.
All right. Perfect. So I just have a couple thoughts. I actually have not partaken of a to-go cocktail. Probably can't afford to do that on the regular, but it sounds nice. I haven't heard about that en masse. I remember hearing about this in New Orleans, from friends who were living there, and just, drive-by takeout, cocktails and liquor.
Drive-by?
And just like, and in that context, I was really, not really understanding how that could not lead to more kind of DUI and drinking and driving problems. I have to say, in a pedestrian context, I feel like this might help us revisit some of the open container kind of laws that I know kind of go along with different kinds of broken windows, policing practices that I think people are starting to reckon with, the way that those inordinately impact Black and brown people, poor people in cities. So I I hope that it could lead in the direction of revisiting that conversation, and also think about, if we're worried about liquor stores, maybe we could revisit some of our kind of weird blue laws in terms of certain times of the week where you can't buy liquor for some reason. That's always confused me as a relatively recent newcomer to Massachusetts.
You know, Raphael, you're a newcomer. Margery, you're not a newcomer to Massachusetts. The blue law thing, by the way, which I don't get. We couldn't even buy liquor here.
Sundays.
Was it not that long ago?
Not that
was it 20
long
years ago or something?
It was less than that because we were on the radio.
Raphael.
It used to be you couldn't buy liquor on Sunday. So if you happened to be invited to somebody's house for dinner and you wanted to go out and buy a bottle of wine, you were out of luck unless you had a stash there. Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. That was
Raphael, good points. Thank you for making them.
Yeah,
Thanks
and
for the
now
call.
I don't know what time liquor stores open on Sundays
Well,
now.
I think it's either 12 or 10. I can't remember which it is.
I remember being stunned going to a grocery store in California. This was years ago now. And there's a full assortment of liquor in the grocery stores. Trader Joe's, some of the Trader Joe's.
Yeah, but you can't sell it. If you liquor store or not, you can't sell it. If you can't, Whole Foods has it in a lot of places. Here, not all of them.
The only one is in Cambridge, I think.
That's not true. They sell liquor in the one where the Herald used to be on.
That's right.
Harrison Avenue and a bunch of places. But what's my point? But they're subject to whatever the same laws about selling on Sunday. Talk about anachronisms. I mean, how ridiculous.
I think we have a lot of hang-ups, Jim.
We do?
The Puritan hangover here in Massachusetts.
Well, there is a Puritan hangover. Chris in Salem, hi, what's up?
Hey, love your show.
Thanks.
I definitely agree with what you're just talking about a lot of hang-ups in Puritan, Massachusetts. It's definitely crazy. I'm from Maryland originally, and that's another state where you can't really buy liquor in liquor stors on Sundays, which is just absolutely insane. But thankfully, you can buy liquor from bars at liquor stores and to take out you can buy some liquor in bars, which is a weird loophole. Yeah, in Maryland,
Oh, in Maryland, okay. Yeah, because I was unaware you could do that here. Yeah.
In terms of the takeout cocktails, I think I've worked in restaurants for the past 10 plus years. I think it would be awesome if we could continue doing that. I do know that there's definitely a concern about the ability to validate IDs and things like that with it. If you're ordering things online, how do you know that nobody's ordering for someone who's not 21?
Yeah.
Which is a concern. I do feel like we've kind of solved that a little bit in terms of the medical marijuana industry, where if you order your medical marijuana online, you have to enter in your ID information there. I feel like there's no reason why we can't have a similar system for buying alcohol. If you're going on Toast for the restaurant's Toast page, and plugging in, you order your cocktail, and then you just need to plug in your ID information to make sure that's legit.
Sounds good to me. Chris, thanks for a little bit of creative thinking. You're pretending like you don't know that you got to enter that information when you order marijuana online?
I have not been asked.
You've told me that, but you've done it.
Well, they say, are you over 21?
Oh. I mean, you have to make an affirmation.
Well, you know something. I shouldn't say because how long has marijuana been legal for?
I don't know.
A while now. So maybe the first time maybe you did have to give your email or something like that before.
Troy and Peabody have literally 60 seconds. Our apologies, but they're all yours. Take it away.
No, you guys are fine. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
I have a very strong opinion on this.
Yeah.
Please.
I am very pro the takeout cocktails because the concept of, the liquor stores need the money is definitely just a power grab by the liquor stores, because the giant liquor store I used to work at, every morning they would tell us how many hundreds of thousands of dollars they made the day before. So I think they're just trying to take as much money as they can.
Oh, Troy, you're the guy who called and said you were treated like crap at the liquor store. Are you not that guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Troy?
I am that guy.
Yep.
Remember, too, that the marijuana stores had to shut down for much of the pandemic, and the liquor stores were allowed to stay open that whole time.
We discussed that with Governor Baker at the time.
But we actually had calls from people who said part of that had to do with people who had alcohol problems, that they needed to get liquor or they would get sick, which was really sad.
Hey, Troy, thanks for calling again. Good to talk to you. We appreciate it. We're out of time.
Okay. Go for it. Go for it with the cocktails. If it doesn't get extended, it's done June 15th. So you have between now and June 15th.
Yeah, and by the way,
your takeout Scorpion Bowls, Mai Tais,
even if you
Jim's Case Manhattans.
Even if you buy the liquor store, they've been open throughout the whole pandemic. Restaurants have had an incredibly hard time. Give them a break. Order a takeout cocktail.
Okay, we are done for today. Thanks for listening. Tomorrow we're going to have Congressman